So you want to get started on a plant-based lifestyle but aren't sure where to start? Or maybe you've tried to go plant-based on your own and you're just still struggling a little bit? Or maybe you even watched the latest vegan documentaries like Forks Over Knives, Game Changers, or What the Health, and you're just curious about plant-based eating. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you my top tips and tricks, as well as some common questions that people have about the plant-based lifestyle, and go over some general guidelines that I've learned along my whole food plant-based journey over the last year and a half. So if you're ready to make the commitment and jumpstart into your plant-based journey, stick with me till the end of this video. And with that said, let's get started. Hi everyone, my name's Mary Allison, but you can call me Mary A. On this channel, I teach you tips, tricks, and recipes to a plant-based lifestyle. If that's something that you like, then go ahead and click the subscribe button below. So the first thing you may be wondering is, should I go all in with this plant-based lifestyle cold turkey and just drop everything that I used to know? Or should I slowly transition? And unfortunately, there's not really a right or wrong answer to that. It's gonna be dependent upon your situation, your personality, and how well you can manage and handle lifestyle changes. Obviously, it would be so great if you could just jump in and be a complete plant-based rock star, and if that's you, then go for it. But that's not always how it works, and sometimes people need to slowly transition, and that's okay too. Especially with this being such a big shift in people's lives and everything they've known, going slower might work best for you. For me, I actually went vegetarian first before I went full-on vegan. I cut out all meat and dairy, but I was still eating some eggs. Eventually, I just decided that I wanted to go all in and cut out everything. I cut out eggs, I cut out oil, but that's how I did it. I was vegetarian, and then I went cold turkey right after that, because I gave up eggs completely one day. I was just like, no more eggs. And bam, they were gone. So if you've decided that you want to slowly transition to the plant-based diet, the best place to start is taking an inventory of the whole food plant-based foods that you already have in your house. Chances are you already have a lot, and you can start making plant-based meals today. So in general, all these foods have little to no processing, little to no packaging labels, and spoil quicker than most foods. So like fruits, veggies, potatoes, rice, beans, you more than likely have those in your house and can get started with your slow transition. But if you've decided you want to fully commit and go all in, I'd highly recommend to start by cleaning out your pantry and fridge as a first step. So the first step in cleaning out your pantry is to toss it. So anything that you find that is not whole food plant-based, so that includes like animal products, meat, poultry, fish, eggs, dairy, any of that, you want to toss it away. I like to toss out any cooking oils, oily salad dressings, highly processed foods like Doritos, Cheetos, Oreos. Though Oreos are vegan, I don't recommend them for a whole food plant-based diet. Whole food plant-based diets, most people don't consume any oil, and I do that because of my esophagus. I had terrible esophagus issues, and I've noticed that too much oil really bothers my acid reflux and my esophagus, so I just like to avoid it at pretty much all costs. A lot of people avoid it because it really is just pure fat. It doesn't have any micronutrients, no fiber in it. It's just literally fat. I would also just rather eat the nut, eat olives, eat avocado, or eat coconut instead of eating the oils from those plants. But I'll leave that decision up to you based on your lifestyle and your health needs. And talk to your doctor about it too. All right, so step number 2 is to keep it. So again, go through your inventory, go through every food item that you have and see what you have that is whole food plant-based that you can keep. You may be surprised with what you already have. Any frozen, fresh, or canned vegetables, beans, pastas, spices and seasonings, and even some condiments. So go through that and see what you have that you can already keep. So the third step to cleaning out your pantry is to buy it. You want to replenish your pantry and your fridge with whole foods. So some examples would just be fruits, vegetables, beans, legumes, nuts and seeds, rice, quinoa, potatoes. If you want to check out my grocery haul, it will be linked either above or down below. And I have a huge giant vegan grocery haul that might help you when you are going to clean out your pantry and are on the buy it portion. So another tip that's going to help you on your whole food plant-based journey is to eat whole foods rather than processed foods. So cleaning out your pantry and fridge will definitely help with this, as you're gonna have whole foods to choose from if you ever get hungry rather than snacking on meat, cheese, processed foods like Doritos. Some examples for me that I like to have as snacks would be ants on a log, which is basically just celery, a little bit of nut butter, and some raisins. I also like to chop sweet potatoes and roast them in the air fryer or in the oven with no oil. Another example would be dipping vegetables into my vegan ranch dip or my vegan nacho cheese. Those links can be posted below, and you can find the recipes there for that as an option for your snacks or in addition to your meals. So next, you want to be prepared. Just like any big lifestyle change, change in your life, you need to be prepared and kind of have a plan of attack on how you're going to be successful with this lifestyle change. If you are busy and don't have much time to cook, I would highly recommend you batch cooking and chopping all of your vegetables so you can just throw meals together very easily and quickly. Items that I like to batch cook would be like potatoes, crispy tofu, which I have a recipe for. You can find that down below in the links, rice, lentils, beans, any kind of like whole grains or legumes. I like to batch cook and throw them in my meals as a source of a healthy protein and high fiber food. So another thing that you could batch cook or have on hand would be vegan sauces that are whole food plant-based approved. I have my vegan nacho cheese and my ranch dip that are my go-tos that I always have on hand. I also really like this almond butter dressing that I have, and you can find that recipe in the Buddha Bowl video, and that will be linked down below. So all of those sauces are 3 of my go-tos that I always love to have on hand to really just season my food and my meals on the go. So here's an easy and quick formula for when you need to create a meal very quickly. So you want to have a bean, a green, a grain, and maybe some fruits or veggies and some sauce to go along with it. You can throw in a healthy fat, maybe like some avocado. So basically just making yourself a big bowl of food. That is why my go-to has recently been Buddha Bowls. I eat them constantly because I don't have to think about it, and I already have all the vegetables and food that I need prepared to just throw into a bowl. So the next tip I have for you is to give yourself some grace. The majority of us, if you're anything like me, grew up eating the standard American diet, and we thought we were being so healthy because we didn't know any better. Changing our lifestyle to a completely plant-based diet is a complete paradigm shift for most of us, and it can be challenging at times. Just do your best each and every day, and if you mess up, it's okay, just keep going. So just take this transition at your own pace, do the best that you can each and every day, and be proud of where you are for even wanting to change and be a healthier person and give yourself a better life. So if you're wanting a little more help or support on your plant-based journey, I recently just created and actually released what's called the Plant-Based Playbook. And this is something that I really wish I would have had when I first started on my plant-based journey back in January 2019. I have been whole food plant-based ever since and will continue to live out that lifestyle for the rest of my life. The Plant-Based Playbook is a 21-day guide to help you become successful on your newfound lifestyle. It is filled with over 50 whole food plant-based no oil recipes, a meal plan template, a grocery list generator, teaches you how to overcome unsupportive friends or family, how to eat out, and how to go to parties and gatherings as well. It also includes courses on how to cook with no oil and literally so much more. If this is something that you are interested in and think it can help you on your plant-based lifestyle, then go ahead and click the link down below to check it out for yourself. So the next tip that I have for you is to join a support group. Sometimes your friends and family may not be super supportive, and that can get really hard. But if you do have friends and family that are supportive, that is great. Maybe they'll even join you on this journey. But if that is not the case, I would highly recommend to join a support group. So Facebook is a great resource too to join some support groups. Also, the Plant-Based Playbook, we're building a community of people who want to encourage each other and help each other on their lifestyle, and we have a Facebook group for that as well, along with our other Facebook group, the Healthy Plant-Based Lifestyle group, and you can find those links down below. So next, I wanted to address some common questions and misconceptions people have about going plant-based. Over all of these misconceptions that I'm going to go over with you, I have the resources linked in the description below. The first one is you can't possibly be getting enough protein while not eating meat. Well, that's actually not true. So according to several studies by Dr. Greger, he explains that most people are actually getting too much protein, and you can get all of the protein you need just from plants. Studies have also found that we actually need more fiber. People are not getting enough fiber in their diets, and that can cause health problems. You are actually doing yourself a favor by going plant-based and eating lots of plants full of fiber, and they give you the protein that your body needs. So another misconception that people have is, you're not getting enough nutrients, are you? When you eat a completely whole food plant-based diet, not processed foods, whole foods, you are actually getting so many nutrients that your body needs from all of the new plants that you're eating and fueling yourself with. There are 3 vitamins that a lot of vegans do take, and most non-vegans in general are kind of low in these levels as well, so most people should be taking these in general. Talk to your doctor before trying to take any kind of supplement. You need to go to your doctor, have your your blood tested and see what you personally need. For me, I like to take B12, D3, DHA, and EPA, and I like to use the Complement brand because it's very clean and they go through testing and it's very safe for consumption. So most of the research that I've done on my own, I have found that the standard around the industry is pretty much eating a whole food plant-based diet is very healthy. A lot of doctors are on board with that and love it, but they do recommend to most people take the B12, D3, DHA, and EPA because a lot of people are low in that anyway, and we can't always get that from our food that we're eating on a fully plant-based diet. Again, talk to your doctor and do your own research about this. Again, I have put some links below about vitamin supplementation as well. Another common question and misconception that I hear all the time is, I thought soy was bad for you. So supposedly, the dairy industry created all of these studies and research trying to show that soy is not good for your body, just so that they can make a profit and that dairy can come back. But actually, there have been several studies showing that soy is actually good for you and can actually prevent breast cancer. And to be completely honest, I did used to be afraid of soy too, and I would stay away from it because I saw all of that research. And then I did some more research once I went plant-based, looked under credible doctors that I actually trust, and saw the studies that they did and that they recommend, and those made me feel much better about consuming soy. Now I eat it pretty much every day. Also, if you are allergic to soy, because I know there's some soy allergies, obviously don't eat it. All right, so another question I hear all the time is, won't this be an expensive way to eat? Actually, no, if you do it correctly. So if you're only buying whole foods, it's really not gonna be very expensive. So for example, if you buy in bulk, you will get a much better price and it will be way cheaper in the long run. For example, like dry beans are way cheaper than canned beans, although both are like really cheap. But buying dry beans will add a little bit more prep time for you, but that's okay if you're looking to really cut down on costs. Another thing that I like to do to help reduce my cost and make this a very practical way of eating is buying a lot of frozen fruits and vegetables, as those are cheaper and actually have a little bit higher nutrition value to it because they are picked when they're ripe, rather than fresh fruits and vegetables are picked right before they're ripe, so nothing happens to them during shipping, so they're not at their like ripest nutrient peak. So what people may be referring to when they think it's expensive is buying all the processed foods. Yeah, there's some really cool processed, trendy vegan food, and while it's delicious, it can get kind of pricey. Buying those items super sparingly or never will highly reduce the cost of your grocery bill. So another question people have is, isn't the food gonna be bland and boring? No, it is all about the seasonings, spices, sauces, and flavors to just make your dish super flavorful and delicious. And if you need some recipe ideas, the Plant-Based Playbook, as mentioned earlier, is a great resource with over 50 recipes for beginners with breakfast, lunch, dinners, snacks, dips, and sauces. Also, if you're not into that, I have a lot of recipes on my YouTube channel that you can look through as well. I get a lot of good feedback on those from my family and friends and from people on the internet, you know? All right, so I hope this video was super helpful for you, and I even created a playlist for you of all of my favorite whole food, plant-based, vegan recipes on my channel that you can find over here. And that way you can go ahead and get started and try all these delicious recipes on your new lifestyle. So if you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notifications so that you never miss a video from me. I will see y'all next time.